What an absolute little washout here on the Nasdaq 100. Kind of wanted to jump on, make a video. I was able to catch the QQQ on the short side. We made a little bit of money early this morning, and then we really started to capitalize on this downside move as that market started to get more momentum. So on the QQQ side, which again, we are looking at the Nasdaq futures charts. So for all of you futures traders, I'm going to give you guys your levels and some things to kind of look for. But I just so happen to be trading options. So $767 on the options side on the QQQs. And what I was looking at was, if you kind of look at this low here from earlier in the session, we kind of put in this low, we bounced, we got rejected at all this nasty supply, we kind of pulled down, we lost this linear regression again, and then we kind of put in this higher low, right? And the market kind of just grinded and grinded and grinded up to the upside, and we kind of put in this little blow off top. Now, this market or this chart, I should say, on the NQ, we did have room 25,212, but the buyers got a little tired, right? If we're going to say anything, the buyers did definitely get tired. And you can see we started an aggressive sell cycle here intraday leading into lunchtime. Now, I had manually drawn this line, right? So I'm moving this line around. I just manually just put it there just for a visual reference, okay? So again, I know some people say, you got a lot of moving averages on your chart. You got a lot of stuff going on, sure. But I've been trading this way for 13 plus years. I'm not paying attention to each specific level. What I'm looking at here on these moving averages is more so just a zone. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these moving averages as different pockets, different areas. I definitely, if we are kind of in the middle of a bunch of shit, meaning we're in the middle of all of these moving averages, well, I'm definitely not going to be doing anything. I'm not going to be clicking the mouse just for the sake of clicking the mouse. I'm going to be waiting for something. So as the day kind of progresses, I definitely add more levels and look at different key touch points from the day. So if we kind of see this chart here, well, it's pretty clear that all of our supply is above. Okay, so if you notice all these moving averages, I mean, we're below, and this is a 1 minute chart, so I just want to get that accurate view. Okay, sometimes people, are wondering what chart I'm looking at. This is just the 1 minute chart. It's not the chart that I trade off of per se, but when I want to see when levels actually get broken, when candlesticks are actually closing below, I'll look at the 1 minute chart just for reference, and it kind of gives me more of a body of work. I'm not going to be trading each and every single individual candlestick. I want to see structure broken. I want to see breaks, retests, and then confirmations. Those are some of the things I want to see. But if you look at when we broke through this low of day, this happened to be during lunchtime at 9:29 Pacific Standard Time. So once we broke through this low of day, what I wanted to see, is it just going to be a sweep where the bulls kind of, they break that price and then immediately put in this big wick to the upside, and you see this big reversal back into the middle of the range? Or do we stay all of this below all of this supply and continue lower? So if you look at, and I'll zoom in here, if you look at the next candlestick, okay, after we broke through that low of day, if you look at the next candlestick, it did try to pop up into its 5-day moving average. Again, 1 minute chart, so take it with the grain of salt. It did pop very quickly, but no aggressive wick on the downside. There was an aggressive wick on the upside. As soon as I seen that, and as soon as it starts to get rejected at that supply, I go ahead and put on that short position on those 10 QQQ contracts. And realistically, once you get in on some momentum, now it can work against you as well. So keep that in mind. But once you get in on momentum, those options contracts really start to speed up. Okay. They start to speed up 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, sometimes if you're really lucky. And it can move really quickly if there's a lot of momentum. Now, where you kind of get chopped up on options trades and the trade can kind of go against you a little bit is when you get stuck in pitter patter like this, right? So there's a little bit of a pitter patter. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, but it's essentially going down. Let's say, for example, you kind of get in right here in the middle. Okay, you get in somewhere here on the middle, your P&L goes green, it goes red, it goes green, it goes red, and you're kind of just waiting for that bigger flush, and then boom, something like this happens. That kind of move on 10 contracts can go against you 500, $1,000 bucks. So you have to be very, very careful when you're trading options and you're trading momentum, even when you guys are trading futures. So for a lot of you guys who are trading these 1, 2, 3 mini contracts, you guys can get in, be green a few $100s, and then get this aggressive spike candle against you, and you can kind of give everything back and end up in a big loss. Getting away from the point. So the point here is when I trade these levels, whether it's mini contracts on the future side or 10, 20 contracts on the option side of things, trading the QQQ, I'm looking at a bigger level, okay? So the bigger level that I'm looking at was the low of day. I can see that we're below a lot of the intraday supply. So that's, two check marks in those boxes. And then what I'm looking for is that structure to get broken, and I want to see price kind of continue to confirm that. So if we look at the 5-minute chart, it's going to look a little different, but for some of you might be a little bit more clear because there's less candlesticks. So notice here, here's that bottom wick. We have that bounce into supply, lower high, followed by a higher low. This would be a very nice, some people would call it a double bottom, right? Where the level holds and we bounce back into supply. You could have taken this for a little bit of a ride, kind of using max pain down here below low of day, and obviously taking money on the way up. But once you see an aggressive engulfing candle like this, and you get this serious momentum back down towards the low of day, you don't really want to overanalyze anything. All you really want to do is wait for that price to break, which I will zoom in here. Zoom in just a little bit more. Right here, 9:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time candle breaks, okay, breaks that linear regression or that low of day and then confirms. Okay, look at how it confirms. And notice here where we stopped. Okay, there's another white line that you see here. This is not a line that I drew, right? So if I click here and hold, I can't move that line, but I can move this one because this is the low of day um, mark that I put on there. But if you notice where we came down to, we came right down into that linear regression. So if we break low of day, your thought process can be losing demand, taking profits into the next area of demand. Okay. So when I'm trading options or I'm trading futures, if you kind of look at what's going on here, break that low of day, wait for it to back test, wait for it to confirm that loss of low of day, jump in on momentum and aggressively scale out into the next demand zone, which is your linear regression channel 50. So hopefully you guys understand, where I'm getting at with this. Again, I would not be shorting down here in the hole. What I would need to see is a little bit of a bounce, and then I would need to see a rejection, and then we would need to break this low of day price yet again and confirm that new low. And then you have a big, big channel down here to 24,535. So just kind of giving you guys a little bit of like a little perspective into the way that I'm looking at these daily levels, these intraday levels that are happening. Again, you're not going to have, 20 million trades a day. Sometimes the market might give you two solid moves. Sometimes it might give you one really, really good move. If you don't take advantage of it, there's nothing more you can really do. A lot of times people get caught in the middle of trying to trade these levels, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And a lot of times you're going to get chopped up on these levels. So make sure to give a thumbs up on this button, guys, on this video. Also, if you guys need Apex evaluations 90% off right now, you can get a 50K account for $19 or $29, depending on if you want the intraday trailing or you want the end of day drawdown. Very, very good deal. I believe there's like 6 days left on that current sale. So make sure you guys are using my discount code DAnthony. That's what helps keep this channel, you know, on the up and up. So with that being said, I'll keep all of you guys posted on anything new that I see. I'll do a little bit of a video recap on some of the other trades that I took. Just looking at my P&L here, we did trade Apple today. We traded a little bit of Tesla and we caught a little bit of Amazon as well. So I'll kind of highlight those particular setups. And again, for those of you guys who are trading futures, There's no different setups that I'm trading when it comes to equities. It's all the same levels. It's all the same, same strategies. The 20 simple moving average, the 200, the linear regressions, initial balance levels, high of day, low of day levels. Like it's all the same stuff. It's just about really sitting back and waiting for those levels and those setups to actually confirm so we can take advantage of them. What we want is, like if you go out into the orchard, you want that low hanging fruit. You don't want to go out there when it's dead middle of winter and there's no fruit on the trees, and you're trying to just grab a bunch of flowers that you think are going to pollinate into fruit. And that's a crazy analogy, but what I'm saying is that when you're day trading and you're scalping, you're not looking to catch every single move. You're waiting for that fruit tree to get nice and full, and then you want to catch that low hanging fruit. Again, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I'll see all of you guys on the next video. Again, take care, be safe, and again, protect your capital, especially in times like these, because the market is not really proving that it wants to just make this big low. Okay. However, the market's really not proving that it wants to go up and make highs. Like everything is okay and on the up and up. So there's going to be a very big and explosive move coming. We're trying to just decipher and figure out, is it going to be back up to the upside, or are we going to have this extravagant leg down? Only time will tell. I'll see all of you guys on the next video.